Welcome everybody to the Renaissance Humanism podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Riley. In today's episode, I will be discussing the United States of America's southern border crisis. The United States of America is facing massive southern border crisis that has been progressively getting worse since the 1990s. From 1990 to 1997, the USA has taken in 150,000 refugees each year from conflicts around the globe, and those people fleeing persecution, according to Pew Research Center. As for the current US administration, the Joe Biden administration from 2021 until the present time is facing a sudden migration crisis that is getting worse every single year, and no action has yet been taken to resolve the issue permanently. The US border has witnessed a record of 6.3 million migrants encountered the between ports of entry since Biden took office in January 2021. According to data from the Office of Homeland Security and Statistics, the result is more than 2.4 million migrants allowed entering the country. However, some particular pundits do put the external migration to the United States of people crossing the southern border to over 10 million, and that is very unlikely these people will ever be deported due to the 5 years waiting period to see an American judge. Secondly, people migrating to the United States will likely have children born in the US who will become American citizens. By the time they reach trial, they will be responsible for dependent children who are US citizens, so it's unlikely that they will be made to leave the US. Also legally according to the American Constitution and the Amendment 14, Section 1, Clause 1 of the US Constitution, which directs all persons born in the territories of the United States are US citizens. This in case regardless of the tax or immigration status of that person's parents. Thirdly, there is a possibility that they may have American spouses, have become pillars of the community and integrated with American society, making it increasingly complex for them to be removed from the culture that they now have become a part of. The migration crisis is becoming a hot topic issue due to media convoluting refugees and migration. What the US has experienced is migration from Southern American continent, that's South America, and not people fleeing war or persecution. According to the United Nations Refugees Agency, to be a refugee, that person must have the characteristics of someone who has been forced to flee their country because of persecution, war, or violence. A refugee has a well-founded fear of persecution for reasons of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership of particular groups or organizations. To begin tackling the border crisis, there needs to be a cooperation between the American federal government and the southern states within the United States of federal government structures. Starting with supporting the southern border region that's home to nearly 90 million people living in the border counties in Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. The situation is not being helped due to the lack of cooperation and support that the federal government is giving to the border states. Recently there has been a clash between state troops of Texas and federal troops of the American federal government. United States Border Patrol agents from 2.5 mile stretch of the Rio Grande in Eagle Pass have blocked U.S. National Guard state troops from preventing southern border migrants from passing into the United States. According to court files by U.S. Department of Justice, the clash between the state and federal authorities on the Texas-Mexican border is escalating. This kind of clash should not be happening. Still, leadership within the United States is willing to solve the problem, and that within the state of Texas, being part of a great union with the United States of America, has the right to protect its southern border, which should include the support of the federal government. Unfortunately, the issue of migration and American southern border crisis has become highly politicized, and people cannot agree on whether or not nations have the right to protect their borders. These are fundamental differences that is dividing the United States. Elements of the American Republic don't have the confidence to use their rights of self-determination, national self-confidence to protect their nation and way of life. This issue that is facing not just the United States of America, but other Western nations, particularly in Europe, who are facing their own migration crisis, with people trying to cross into Europe through the Mediterranean Sea and border regions such as the Strait of Gibraltar, southern Spain, Sicily, and the Balkans, which are connected to Turkey, and also the many Greek islands as well, and the Turkish islands. This goes up today's topic. Thank you for listening. Hope you found it informative and insightful. I shall leave my writing link below where you can view my other written content as well, not just my video and audio podcast. Thanks for listening, and peace out.